damned DeVries and her lackeys, putting us and those innocent folk in this situation. It's sick, but they'll answer for it. Like to press on, Commander. Ought to keep moving, Commander.
Yes, dear. Anything on your mind? May all our endeavors yield expected results.
Well, that's one place to put a safe. Reckon it's part of Wiley's puzzle somehow.
Grasicci, aggressor's near. Investigating hostile intentions.
I have a growing suspicion Seer's been overindulging in atheism.
Resorting to violence.
Back in business.
No need to converse.
Practicing some battlefield medicine. got us running around like a bunch of assholes now.
See? Didn't I tell you our friend would be there? Hurry! Disable the court press machine! Oh, thank the architect. Not that I was concerned, mind you. Thank you, stranger. We should be okay here for now. Go pay Wiley his just dividends. For all of us.
Glad we saved those folk. But now we need to deal with the bastard behind all of this. Let's move.
Yes, Commander. May all our travails add to the equation.
this order as its preeminent luminary. And without our intervention, she would make peace with the primitive minds of And whom do we blame? Stamped onto a test of order aptitude. And who do we blame?
Have you acquired the scholarship we asked for?
Of course you do.
Have you acquired the scholarship we asked for? Wonderful. Please deposit the titles in that drawer there, and we will review it forthwith. Excellent timing. We're nearly finished reviewing the materials you brought us. Oh, well now, this is unexpected. The arguments in this text seem to have highlighted a teleological flaw I fear my own argument shares.
You too, huh?
Under certain conditions, de-escalation becomes impossible, leading to negative outcomes, including outright annihilation. An annihilated entity cannot advance the plan.
But maybe annihilation itself serves a purpose we're simply unaware of. You were right before. Participating in a war only produces an entropic feedback loop.
I see someone has been reading On the Origin of Sprats. It has that effect on people.
Mental carceration and the potential unreality of conscious experience adds an interesting dimension to the argument. It's certainly worth exploring.
Perhaps later. For now, I feel we should reward our guest with their choice of reward, given the idiosyncratic nature of his conclusion. Armor or weapon? Very well. You can retrieve it from the same drawer where you deposited our research materials. We appreciate your time. If you have a spare 4 hours, feel free to stay and observe our period of silent, sustained reading. Otherwise, until we next confer. Have you acquired the scholarship we asked for? Wonderful.
Oh, you too, huh? But maybe annihilation...
Perhaps later. For now, I feel we should reward... Very well. We...
Approaching target coordinates. Reacquiring target. No evading me this time.
Healing. All charged up.
Reacquiring target. Fact-finding commences.
Information gathering continues.
Reporting search.
Anticipating trouble.
Investigating hostile intentions.
Yeah.
Assessing.
Hostile in proximity. Proceeding to attack. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Consider self-preservation a priority.
I'll be damned. Look at this place. You reckon they have a rendering of Tau Ceti hereabouts?
not believe Clemens fell for whatever half-baked argument you managed to cobble together. That imbecile. And Svoboda. I thought her more capable. You may have bested my peers, but they were never my equal anyway. And neither are you. You took so long, I was beginning to think my little puzzle actually stumped you. Oh, I think my average walking speed will suffice once I've finished dispatching you. You seem confused. Allow me to delineate on the totality of your failure. Saving the hostages delayed you just long enough for me to complete my work. I was able to transmit not only the coordinates for the peace talks, but also the station security protocols, giving Augustine control over its automechanicals. She has everything. That's preposterous. And a transparent attempt at sowing discord between us. I haven't the time nor desire to enumerate the failings in your logic. Suffice to say, you misunderstand the basic fundamentals of my objectives. The Order has been dislocated from its ideals, becoming the opposite of all they espouse. DeVries and I are merely providing a necessary realignment.
All I hear is empty bluster from an amateur schemer whose only success so far is failing loudly at a sloppy plan. This slapdash takeover of yours is graceless and rushed and reeks of ineptitude and desperation. In my day, we did these things with considerable more efficiency and panache.
And who are you, exactly?
Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor, Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
The endpoint. No. The improbability of you interrupting my plans at this singular moment beggars belief.
Our aims are so similar, I'd almost consider joining you. Had you not proven yourself such bumbling fools, dragging me into your mess. Consider how much uncertainty has been introduced into your equations. Can you have any confidence in your predictions at this point?
What in the architect's computational summary are you on about? That hopeless, ineffectual, over-reliant waste of workspace? He wouldn't dare. But I am beyond reproach. My talent without peer. What has Joseph ever done for the Order except occupy my valuable time with useless queries? No, this is some kind of deception. It has to be. I could not have missed such obvious machinations. My math is correct. My math is always correct. How could I have failed to recognize such gaps in my predictions? I checked and triple-checked. What could I have done? Where did I err? Enough! Please. Your point has been sufficiently made, and I truly lack the capacity to debate you further. I've already sent Augustine everything she needs. but all our communications are on this terminal. It is yours to peruse. Though, I cannot say whether the information will be useful. Obviously, my analytical acumen is not what I'd assumed. All I know is that I was never meant to stop you. Now I must send word to my allies here at the monastery to stand down, and notify them of my resignation from the Order. Effective immediately. I have no more predictions to offer. Now or ever.
Did you need something? May all our endeavors yield expected results.
Ought to keep moving, Commander. Yeah.
I have grown worried. I have not received word from Archivist Clemens in some time, and I imagine you would have relayed any pertinent information by now. I fear this bodes ill. Without him, our only option is a direct assault. A risky proposition, to be sure. The last thing any of us want is for our plan to spiral out of control. And so it falls on you to seize back that control. Use the methods we discussed to take command of the monastery. When it is done, I will send further instruction. You have my trust. See that it is not misplaced. I'm much obliged for your tireless work. With this knowledge of Greater Tranquility Substation and its security codes, our plans for the peace talks can finally be spurred into motion. However, without Archivist Clemens and his explosives at our disposal, we've no choice but to proceed with our contingency plan. A direct assault. Though the codes will allow me control of the automechs on the station, we'd best accept now that more lives may be lost than previously assumed. Yet we must act unflinchingly. To fail now would mean the end of everything. I'm much obliged, however, though the code, yet we must... I fear this, the last thing, and use the method... I'm much, however, though the code, yet we must...
We off to the peace talks then? We'll need your ship unless you intend to walk. To space.
Ought to keep moving, Commander.
What a fool I was. to believe I mattered in the plan's grand scheme.
Agent, over here. It seems the situation here has been resolved, but I don't see Sir Wiley. Were you able to secure his safety? What? No, but that can't possibly be true. Landon would never align himself against the Order? Against a friend? You must be mistaken. Or maybe his calculations led him astray. Yes, that must be what happened. Indeed, just a small error. Were you able to speak with him? Help him recover his senses? I'm greatly relieved to hear it. Did he mention me at all? I'd rather hope that would not come to light. I gather he did not receive the revelation well. I'm sure you also think me to blame for all of this. But you have to understand my position. How ill-equipped all in the Order are for this new world. With the schism and now the war, the Order stands alone for the first time in its storied history. We have no experience with governance. Well, myself especially. Education takes time, and that is the one thing the Order does not seem to have in abundance these days. Still, I take your meaning. We must do better. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your assistance in reclaiming the monastery, regrettable as the business was. I had intended to offer you access to one of our experimental weapons, but it seems you already helped yourself to it. You always do seem a step ahead of me. May all your future endeavors proceed in accordance to the plan.
I don't know what you're complaining about. We emerged totally unscathed.
I'd estimate I'm 43.11% scathed.
Then increment your bravery.
Release
Roger would appreciate that, I think.
Thank you again. It's nice to have a little help around the camp. How can I be of service?
I wouldn't give her. Got something that needs doing, Commander?
What caused the schism between the Protectorate and the Order? The Consul tried to kill...
best we start discussing strategy, Commander.
The information collected on the peace talks has been verified, Commander. As time is a factor, this unit suggests heading to Greater Tranquility Station as soon as you are able.
We can't let DeVries catch us on the back foot again. We need a plan.
DeVries aims to stop the peace talks using lethal force. But she's an amateur. Let's show her how professionals cause pain.
This unit is obligated to advise against blowing up a space station as a form of retribution. Records indicate Greater Tranquility is a derelict station. Consequently, the ideal route to reach the main chamber for the peace talks will be through its underbelly. Be advised. In the absence of Victor and his explosives, Agent DeVries and her team will be committed to a frontal assault. Due to delays incurred while saving the Order hostages, DeVries also has the codes to control the station's security automechanicals, and will assuredly deploy them against you, Commander.
It's a comm station built by the Order in the early days of the colony. As Val said, auto-mechanical security measures are a given, and DeVries will surely level them against us. I'd also expect some level of hazardous disrepair, though the unpredictable nature of DeVries and her defectors concerns me more than anything.
Additionally, per the Earth Directorate Manual, when lacking equivalent combat forces, determination and vast amounts of ammunition may make up the difference.
You know where I stand. This war's taken too many good folk from us. I'll be damned if I let DeVries add to that number.
I'm coming with you. Who better to make DeVries pay for Horizon Point than a pair of our own Phantoms? Good. Would have been a shame if DeVries was the reason for us falling out too.
Confirming coordinates for Greater Tranquility Station. Confirmed. Use the astrogator when you are ready to navigate to the station, Commander.
Glad you stopped by. I had something I wanted to ask you. Now that we're out of pulping distance, are you sure about recruiting that Arbiter? That hammer's a fine piece of weaponry, sure enough. But how much can we trust the hand wielding it? I'm flattered. But if there's any match to be made for a Directorate agent, you've just brought him onto our ship. Armed. Arbiters ain't like us. Facts matter less to them than personal judgments. Once the boulder's going, someone's getting crushed. I've seen it happen more than once. What's that saying? You are the company you keep? That optimism of yours never flags no waves, does it? Maybe you're right to give him a chance. But I'll be keeping my lamps on him, just in case things go the other way. I'm guessing you didn't come here to talk about Rao, though. So what's on your mind? Oh yeah? What's needling you? Marisol settling nicely? Well, I assume so. I'm actually a little scared to ask. She's like a character from the Zane and Buddy serials come to life. I mean, the end point? Tell me that don't just scream lead ne'er-do-well in a suspenseful two-parter. Maybe don't tell her I said that, though. Always up for a little backfence talk, though I'm guessing you don't mean Val. Can't say I know her well enough to have much in the way of an opinion. She seems capable, and shockingly, she hasn't tried to sell me anything yet. It's been a treat watching her break free from her corporate overlords. Auntie's choices never had her back, or her best interests at heart. Well, he hasn't brought the hammer down upon us yet, so I suppose that's something. I still wouldn't play the odds on him choosing us over the Protectorate if it came right down to it, but I'd be happy to be proven wrong there. Underneath that friendly old lady facade, Marisol's a killer. Best we not forget that. Future's always changing, though. Who knows? Maybe Marisol will surprise us. In a good way, I mean. Not in a surprise attack kind of way. I hope. I think she'd have a hell of a time passing the Directorate psychological screening. Don't much care for all her talk about disembowelment, neither. Truth be told, I don't know her all that well. Reckon she's unmoored and grabbing for anything that feels like purpose. Same as the rest of us. At least that's what I would say if I was feeling charitable. Most days, I'd send her out the airlock if it came to a vote. Sure thing. I trust you've got particulars in mind?
The hostages went home safe. We'll see if those at the peace talks make it back fine as well. May all our travails add to the equation.
That damn Wiley put us in an impossible situation. I'm glad those hostages can go back to their families, but I fear we played right into DeVries' hands. With that data, she could wreak more havoc than we anticipated. Look, I know the choice is yours on how you want to approach this, but it's my folk in the crosshairs. If something happens to our delegate, I don't know how I'd live with myself. If there's space by your side, I hope you'll call on me. That's all I ask. If we fail to stop DeVries, this will have dire consequences for the war and everything else. So let's not fail, huh? Sure. Got someone in mind? Ain't often you see an elder solving an equation with one hand and stabbing someone in the eye with the other. So the real question is, does she get along with me? I sure hope so. I'm keen to learn about her, though I reckon she's more of an abacus than an open book. Set in her ways, methodical, and law help you if you jostle her. Seems friendly enough, if a mite guarded and a little thick-headed in his view of Auntie's choice. Regardless, I can assure you I'll treat him with the same respect I show you. Though I reckon he's seen his fair share of struggles over the years, no matter how he tries to hide it. Think he ought to ask for help when he needs it.
Commander, if you've a moment, I wish to note my reservations regarding the Order member we seem to have brought into our fold. Setting aside my obvious concerns as an enemy of the Order, there's something devious about her. Something that sets her apart from her fellows. There is a bloodlessness to her nature. The killer's icy resolve. She's dangerous. Despite her alignment with the corporatists, I feel her intentions are ultimately benign, however skewed they may be. Marisol is more difficult to place, thus a greater threat. That was all I had on that subject. Consider my concerns logged. Certainly, I consider myself an open tome. Who amongst our motley assortment would you care to discuss? Marisol possesses a calculating resolve that has nothing to do with mathematics. Had I anything to fear from her, she would have struck already. I can work alongside her, but I shall keep my guard high, nonetheless. Verily, idle gossip hardly suits an arbiter anyhow.
What are we standing around jawing for? There's mayhem and murdering to be done. Such as? What? Sorry. Caught me lost in my upper story. Who exactly? Of course I do. What's not to like? To envy? Her style, her lethality? Oh, she's a professional for architect's sake. I wish I'd known about her department when I was growing up. Even as a child, I know they'd have seen my potential. Such as?
Marisol Delgado has been added to the ship roster and has claimed her quarters. This unit has also been informed by Agent Delgado that she is not to be disturbed while resting unless the ship is on fire, and even then only if it nears my quarters.
Back. If you seek entry to my wares, you must engage me your sports card collection, though you shall not prevail. Sporting. Let us do battle. That's an impressive number of cards, my friend, but not... Wait a moment. No. Your cards. You have multiple that I do not. Your collection has defeated me. Though this defeat leaves the taste of dirt and blood in my mouth, I am not dishonorable. I present to you my other collected wares. I have no doubt they shall impress. I understand your impatience, but wait just a moment longer. Greetings again. You may have defeated me last time, but I shall rise from the ashes someday. In the meantime, you're welcome to browse my collection. In the wake of my defeat, I've taken a brief break. I'm contemplating what I might collect next. I've heard sprats are rarely born with mutations like extra toes and acid vision. Perhaps I'll start an exotic sprat farm. Then I could pit my sprats against opposing farm sprats. Battle sprats. Imagine the merchandising opportunities. Eat your heart out, Auntie Cleo. Behold.
Underlings are grinning.
It's one of Auntie's. That was requested by Tanuj Preminger for his neighbor Millie. Sincere thanks for informing on my family, says Tanuj. Since our latest mental refreshment, household productivity is up 0.05%. An inspiring message. If that's not the meaning of community, I don't know what is. Next up, music to invigorate your mind, so you can serve the greater good at a brisk pace, with a true adherence zeal.
I'm all for giving folks a chance, but a cultist, Commander? Really? skills like a willingness to launch yourself into a rift, you mean? Yeah, very useful. Leaving all else aside, the problem is that we don't know this woman, and she's not giving us much cause to trust her. In fact, I say it's just the opposite. All right, Commander. I'll play nice, but only because you asked. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Marisol's something, huh? She had everyone fooled, and then she turns around, exposes Svoboda for what she is, and reveals herself to be the endpoint. What kind of name even is that? She reminds me of the serial heroes I wanted to be just like when I was a kid. I'd tell her if I thought she'd appreciate it. That's a step too far. And anyway, I think she'd pat me on the head and say, "That's nice, dear," like she's cooing at a Raptidon pup that fell asleep in its food bowl. Anyway, this is me saying I think she was a good get. Much better having her in our corner than staring down the barrel of her gun, that's for certain. She's probably already got bugs listening in on us, so we ought to just stop there.
Citrus-related beverage. Try to taste the lemon.
What do you need, Commander? Such as?
If x is the square root of -1, and you distribute the two binomials together, then the coefficient is... Oh, sorry. Help you with something? I'm not hearing a question. Oh, I am a dedicated member of the Order. Beyond that, there's really little you or anyone need to hear about. Consider yourself lucky. You already know more about me than anyone else I've met in the last 20-odd years. Information free of context can be off-putting, confusing, dangerous even, if misjudged. I mentioned before I was part of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. My role there, you may recall, was head intercessor. I was tasked to influence pivotal events, to keep the solving of the equation on track. Something occurred. I needed to step off the board a while. To put it mildly, after the incident in question, seeking refuge seemed prudent. Dorado appealed to me because it was off the board but not completely remote. There I could lie low for a time, but observe. So I'd believed. Our department was shuttered shortly after Ruth Pissar took office. To avoid undue attention, I remained in hiding. Inquire away. I may even respond. Another crack like that, and you might just find out. Our department employed a variety of methods to obviate hindrances and threats to the Order's efforts. We were considered wardens of the grand plan, helping correct it when needed. All of us are part of the plan. We follow the path intended for us by the architect. We should, at least. Now and then, some push back against their path, but it never ends well. Corrections can take time, even delay in the solving of the equation. That's where we came in, to get things back on track in the timeliest of manners. May the plan favor us against long odds.
No time to goggle the rift, Commander. We've got to get to DeVries. Doesn't take an engineer to hazard a guess whose ship that is. DeVries is here, Commander. I'm sure of it. Now's not really the time for a chat. You need something?
Every moment we linger in this shell of a place, we're giving DeVries that much more time to enact her plans. I'd rather we move on.
Good evening. On behalf of everyone in Auntie's family, I want to thank our hosts for securing this wonderfully austere venue to begin our negotiations for peace. With tensions being patched in Golden Ridge, I am certain we can both profit from a merger. But surely the good Vicar Laureate and his fellow shareholders have some thoughts?
Madam Vice President, I and my fellow counselors remind you that this is no merger, but an alliance. By ending the war, we may focus on the true threat to our society, the rifts.
Be still, Cadre. But don't let this interloper out of your sight. It's you, is it not? The one Agent DeVries warned me to expect? Well, see here. If you intend to stop me, you're far too late. I certainly don't wish it. Yet my health is of far less import than ensuring our mission success. I've already cleared the way for my associates into the station.
We need answers, now. How we extract those answers, I'll leave up to you, Commander. Personally, I'd start with the knees.
You'll do no such thing. My willpower is stout, my loyalty unshakable. And even if by some low chance you could extract my knowledge, you'll never truly understand. If our deaths buy Agent DeVries and our comrades the time they need, so be it. That matters not. He lost his grit and turned traitor. But I am steadfast in my resolve. You hear me? Steadfast. No, I mean, yes. Stop attempting to scramble my thoughts. But it doesn't matter what you do. The rest of our team is pushing forward. Agent DeVries is right. The only way to save us from destruction is to save the Order from itself. But why would you leave me be? This situation is markedly different. Those at the monastery were not standing in your path. How can you say that without knowing me, and mean it? Your resolve is unmistakable, and it's quickly becoming all too clear I've no option left but to trust you. Fine then, I surrender. See this screen? Agent DeVries' orders for each of her strike teams are here for the taking. One team is in the next chamber, in fact. They're using the Seer's codes to gain control of the Automechs and secure the station. All while Agent DeVries makes for the Forum chamber to eliminate the delegates. You'll also need this. Her guards have commandeered some frightful reinforcements, and you'd do well to find the control hub to disable them before you're spotted. That's my end of the agreement upheld. If you truly intend to stop her, best be on your way now. May the numbers guide you.
Gave up that intel rather easily, didn't they? Let's have a look.
Just imagine the hustle and bustle of this place in its heyday. Shame it's all going to scrap now.
Why can't our work ever be easy?